Hello. This is in response to faith and how to fix the system. The question is asked, do we tear it down? And then it is assumed we have nothing to replace it with. And so tearing it down cannot be the answer. And I would agree, because if the system is ever to be what it ought to be, we must love the system as ourselves, because we are that which make up the system. You know, the system is nothing in and of itself. And it is, in my faith, love that builds up and hate that tears down. And so, to build it up, to make it actually what it ought to be, but actually already is, potentially, is to love it as yourself. Like all things, the system is continuously evolving. It is time for the new system, the new creation, the result of evolution. Getting beyond the need to evolve is the next step. The point of evolution is get to a point where you no longer need to evolve, to no longer have a place to go, because you're there. You know, one might call it the center, the focus. Chaos, any kind of chaos that would result from a destruction of the system, or simply laziness and rebellion in that way, only works on the most basic levels. True chaos only works on the most basic levels, not in large-scale situations, i.e. quantum mechanics versus Newtonian mechanics. The new system will replace the old system, but will inevitably use the old system to get there, as one species uses another to evolve through. Not working is never the answer, because faith without works is dead. That is my faith. And there are many who can argue that they have faith, but when one observes what they say and observes what they do, one will learn that their faith is dead, because it is not there. Their actions do not follow in their words. But if you actually do what you say, that is, you believe what you say, and you do it, it is obvious without saying anything what you believe. And anyone who is able to observe that will know that this faith is real, that it is alive, that it works. Now, not working is never the answer. Faith with works is alive. Death, or not moving, is a system we have now. That is the debt system. To do nothing is to do the same thing the system is doing now. The new system is where we are responsible for ourselves, and willingly responsible for those around us, and those not around us. This is the universal chaos, the 100%, the 99% that are controlled, and the 1% that are without control. To do this without law, without control, except self-control, to do it ourselves, because it is the responsible, the centered, the focused thing to do, if you truly believe that everyone has the right to life. Revolution is the bottom becoming the top, and the top becoming the bottom. The American Revolution wasn't really a revolution, and it was barely a war for independence. The revolutionary idea behind the new system is that we don't need a new system in the first place. No more revolution or threat of revolution, but instead there is balance, harmony, no spin, but rest, peace, equality. In fact, the only way humanity is ever going to make it is by returning to the oldest system in the book. That is life. It is what has always been around, and the only thing that survives everything. Now, since everything is constantly changing, the only thing left to change is the idea of change. There will be none. No actual change of the system. It's not going from a system to no system. There will always be a system, no matter what it is called, from start to finish, beginning to end. There is zero sum. Nothing to do as far as the system is concerned. This is because all systems actually accomplish nothing. It is the mover of the system that accomplishes or doesn't accomplish. That is you, that is me. The new system will require everyone to question and evaluate their standard of living, and first and foremost find out if one is actually living in the first place. Now, the earth does have somewhat limited resources, such as oil resources, that are not in supply to sustain an equal global standard of living that is equal for all. But that doesn't mean that we have to let that destroy civilization. Civilization uses and creates the market for these resources. The resources do not create the civilization if it is a true civilization. The earth is in the universe. Everything the earth receives, it receives for free. Use what is freely given. Freedom, the domain of the free, is the hallmark of this revolutionary idea. Many, if not most countries, don't have the resources within their borders to maintain the global standard of living. So it's based on inequality from the outstart. This is why the current standard of living cannot go on. Not just the standard of living, but the expression of the current standard of living cannot go on. It's simply unsustainable. It is not alive. It is death. It is debt. We must find a system that all can participate in equally. The only system that fits that criteria is a free system, free society, a free individual. The question becomes, are we willing to give up that which has no lasting value for that which has everlasting value? No doubt, many will say, no matter how one describes it, yes, that is what I want, that is to live rather than die. But, once again, by their fruits you will know them. What you do is what counts. So that if you don't want to be a zero, do something about it. Make yourself number one and join the crowd, because that's what everything's been doing all along anyway. Thank you.